food time. So I woke up at 8:30 this morning. It is now 12:05 in the afternoon. And I've done my shopping. I decided to go off to a different farmer's market this time. Unfortunately, I didn't buy anything. It was really rubbish compared to the last one I went to. There was nothing there that was particularly worth buying. Oh, I'm so hungry. There was nothing else that I thought was particularly worth buying. So I gave it a miss and decided to go to my local Sainsbury's, which is where I shop all the time. And so it's time to show you what I bought. This week I went with a budget of £65, and the aim was to buy more organic stuff, kind of buy good portion sizes. Like, I don't want to buy too much so I have an empty fridge for the next time. And basically to buy a bit of everything for everyone, because we all put in the same amount of money, and I was trying to buy stuff that everyone can eat, and I didn't want to be too selfish with my groceries. So there are some things in here that I really wouldn't eat, and some things I'm going to try and make for other people. So the first thing is organic wholemeal bread. This is the half loaf. You can get like an 800 gram, I think. This is a 400 gram. That was 85 pence for one of these. I brought organic porridge oats. This is actually not only to have porridge, obviously, but I was going to make breakfast bars because my mum likes to buy cereal bars and stuff, and there's all sorts of like horrible glucosey stuff in there that I don't want them eating. So I'm going to give making these a go. They're not going to be particularly low in fat, especially because my brother-in-law eats them and he doesn't really need to eat low in fat stuff, but it's going to be mostly natural things, and hopefully they'll taste nice. Porridge oats were £1.18 for this much, so that's not too bad. Wholemeal muffins, these aren't organic, but it's something that my brother-in-law really likes, so I bought that for him, and it's something he can eat for breakfast. Wholemeal muffins are 67p for 4. To be honest, it was 2 for £1, but I thought in the week you probably wouldn't be able to get through 8 and would just waste food, so 1. Wholemeal pita bread, so that I can have these for lunch. These are 75p for 5 of them. And for those cereal bars I was talking about, I brought these dried berries and cherries. They come with jumbo raisins. I'm not a big fan of dried fruit because it's a lot of calories and it's a lot of sugar, but again, these aren't exactly for me. I'm going to put these sparingly inside the cereal bars and hopefully they'll be delicious. Tinned tuna, another one of those cupboard things. 4 packs of tuna is £3.99 for 4 cans. I don't know whether that's particularly steep, but anyway, this one is the one that's in spring water. We don't buy the oil one or the brine one, so it's just water and tuna, and this is like quick convenience food, sandwiches, lunch, whatever. I have 2 of these milks. These are organic skimmed milk. These are 2 pints, so I bought 4 pints of milk. It's a shame that they don't do organic milk in bigger tubs, right? So these are £1.03 each. I went and brought Yo Valley organic fat-free natural probiotic yogurt because I want to have this for breakfast again. I used to eat Total, but there wasn't organic, so I chanced it and brought one of these. This is £1.28. Benecol. My mum likes to eat Anchor, but we're kind of saying no to Anchor, and so Benecol is a good one, I suppose. Everyone else eats it. It's a light spread. Benecol is £3.50. That's really expensive. I need to find a lower fat spread, and that's cheaper. Organic eggs again. These are the Woodland ones. I love these. Organic free range, medium size, and they are £1.82, which is quite expensive for eggs really, but they're organic, and we just try not to eat so many eggs. Alpro soy milk. I'm not the biggest fan of soy milk anyway. It's not that good for you. There was unsweetened or light, and this isn't exactly for me. This is for mum because she eats it with her cereal, which I'm trying to wean her off of. But you know, there's unsweetened and light. I kind of compared the two, and I would rather her have the light because the unsweetened had some sort of strange chemicals in it, and I thought, never mind. She wouldn't like it unsweetened anyway. She'd only put sugar on top. I have British beef lean steak mince. Again, they're 2 for £6. These are organic beef mince, and these are for meatballs because every Monday I make meatballs. It's Meatball Mondays. This is a treat for my brother-in-law. It's sausages. We don't do sausages that much in this home anymore. We used to have sausages every single week, but I thought he's probably going to miss them, and the fact is I don't really buy a lot of meat because meat's expensive for a start, and we do have a lot of fish. So this is 6 beef and cracked pepper sausages made with 75% beef. And I kind of figured if I'm not eating it, he's not going to be too fast. They're only £2 for a pack, so that will last him a whole week. I bought that chicken again, £5. Probably the least favourite thing I bought, but family needs to eat chicken. Now we're on to my favourite part of fruit and veg. Yay! I have 2 packets of cherries. Again, this is a brother-in-law request. These are 2 for £3, so not bad. I have organic cherry tomatoes. These are from Mum. Well, never everyone, but Mum likes to snack on. Well, I'm trying to get her to snack on better things because she snacks on peanuts, and I'd rather she snacked on tomatoes. And these are £1.89, which is quite steep. Again, I have normal tomatoes. These are also organic, and they are £1.38. I can't believe the cherry tomatoes are more expensive than normal tomatoes. I have organic peppers because these were cheaper than normal peppers for some reason. Maybe they're kind of going off, but we eat them quick. These were £1.99. Oh my god, that's expensive. I recently read up on the fruits and vegetables that are particularly bad in terms of pesticides. They like soak up a lot of pesticides, and some are better than others. Like for example, onions aren't so affected, whereas things like blueberries, apples and things like that, they kind of absorb a lot of pesticides, a lot more. So one of the top things were blueberries, and I said to Mum I'm not going to buy her normal blueberries anymore. So organic blueberries, 2 for £3. I mean, you know, that's kind of expensive, but I would rather she ate those than she ate like mouthful of pesticides. Asparagus, funnily enough, wasn't one of those vegetables actually. So asparagus, that was £2.73. Again, very expensive, but I think everyone's bored of broccoli. I'm not, but they are. I have Royal Gala apples. These are £2. Sweet corn, another one of those resilient against pesticide vegetables, so I just bought normal ones. 4 of these were £2, which isn't half bad. I mean, that's 50p for a sweet corn. That's like 50p for a snack. I have a round lettuce. Better than buying those packets of salads, like leaf salads, especially if they're not organic, because they're washed in chlorine quite often, and I assume this is too, but it's also cheaper. A head of round lettuce is 57p, and this would, you know, do us a lot of meals. Sweet potato, if I could, I would have bought organic, but there was none. So everyone needs a bit of their starch. I think everyone would get bored of rice if I kept making it, and not everyone's a big fan of pasta here, apart from me. So sweet potato is £1.57 for all of these. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Pears, you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 conference pears. And I believe these were something like £2, which is, you know, relatively expensive. But I think these were more expensive than the organic ones, but the organic ones were kind of really hard and not very nice looking, and I don't really eat that many pears. They're for my brother-in-law, so conference pears. Also, and lastly from Sainsbury's is onions, 90p. Should have bought another one. When I went to the farmer's market, I cheekily went and parked in the Lidl car park. And for, you know, for all those people who don't know what Lidl is, it's a bit like, I don't know, well, it's really one of those super cheap stores, and there wasn't going to be that much stuff in there that I wanted, because, you know, I try to buy as much organic food, but I did want to see what they had, and I really only parked in their car park because the what they called the farmer's market didn't have a car park. But I went in there anyway, and I actually found organic fair trade bananas. So I bought 2 of these. These were like, I don't have the receipt, I don't know where it's gone, but these are really cheap, and they would have been cheaper than Sainsbury's. So if you can go to Lidl to buy bananas, they're here. And lastly, also from Lidl, was organic British carrots. I was getting really confused because they had like normal carrots and then organic ones, and I kept picking up the wrong ones. But these are organic, so yay! I spent about £60, which, to be honest, is in budget. I have still got this much money left, which I can now put into week 3 shopping, and I've got tons of vouchers. So good times. Love you guys, and hope you're all doing well. The very last note is that I've just looked at last week's receipt and this week's receipt. This was last week's, and this was this week's. Last week's receipt last week's shopping bill came to £53.78. This week's very small shopping bill was £56.09. So you can just see, like, this mostly organic, some organic. So you can kind of see how expensive organic food is. If we can finish all of the food by next week, then it's well worth it. And if, like, you know, like, if we don't run out of food, then I can keep buying like this. But if I run out of food halfway through the week, which, to be honest, I don't think we will if we eat smartly, then I will have to go back to this. But, you know, hopefully we can finish all of the food, but hopefully we don't finish it too fast.